Etiquette of serving the guest, you should first serve the guest generously, as much as you can, and according to your, of course, mean. You should, one of the mistakes, I mean, I guess for the, in Oriental, especially not in the Western society, they know they should partake with the guest. They should like offer the guest and share with him whatever you're offering him. I guess it is true, right? In Egypt, I mean, I know that just offer and then watch him drinking or anything. And subhanAllah, this is not the etiquette in Islam. You should partake with, even if they said you pretend to eat, you pretend to drink. You just put your plate, and even if you don't feel like eating or drinking, you just partake with your guest. So the host should, as I said, partake the drink with the guest and feel him comfortable. This is like we feel him so comfortable with his sharing with him. This is why it is forbidden in Islam to fast. If you are inviting your guest, it's not a proper manner for you to say, oh, I'm fasting, but you can eat and drink. And the opposite is true. If I invite you, you cannot fast that day. SubhanAllah, of course I'm talking about fasting and sunnah fasting, and not the mandatory fasting. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, break your fast. It's a very important hadith in my opinion, because it highlights how the right of human being come prior to the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The right of the guest and sharing with the other come prior to the right of Allah. I mean, you're fasting, not mandatory, as I said, sunnah fasting, but when you're invited, you break your fast, and this is what the Prophet, peace be upon him, said. He said, your brother invited you and spared no expenses for you, so you should like break your fast and fast another day if you want. I don't know, this is a good translation. Spare no expenses. What do you mean spare no expenses? Said, your brother invited you and spared no expenses for you, so break your fast and fast another day if you want. So look at this, and this is really a good. Of course, you can, if you want to compensate it by being a sunnah, you can compensate another day. But if you're invited, you're not allowed to say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm fasting. If you knew before, of course. But if you go just for a visit to give a book or whatever, just short visit and not planned at that moment, and you were fasting, this is different. But if you knew that you are invited, look at this. If you are invited and you're eating and the host was watching you, and they don't share together the food, they say, oh, it's so nice, and you know, it's part of a nice communication and nice relationship with your companion. So I remember even my sister, she was invited, and my brother was inviting all of us, and we all ate, mashallah, together and shared the food and enjoyed it very much, and she said, no, I'm fasting. So look what happened. She waited until 6 o'clock. We were in the restaurant. It's very hard to find food after 6. I mean, we all finished food, eating and everything, and she started to say, oh, it's time for me to go. Alone in a restaurant, it's not practical. Cold maybe meal, I don't know. I mean, she really ruined the whole gathering. So we should learn that to celebrate the gathering is to eat also together. Not only this, it's an act of charity to be generous towards your guest. But the Prophet said for 24 hours for the guest, I mean, day and night, he spent day and night. It is an act of charity, and it's mandatory for 24 hours. It is mandatory to be generous to your guest. And it is sunnah for 3 days and 3 nights to receive, to host your host, I mean, and feed him and be generous towards him. But after that, you shouldn't like stay more than 3 days and 3 nights, because I mean this is the limit. So we learned that we should be like, okay, pay a visit and everything, spend the night, okay, but don't go beyond 3 days. This is your maximum. And of course, once you finish eating, you should offer a prayer for the host أفطر عندكم الصائمون. It may Allah let those fasting break their fast at your place. وأكلوا طعامكم الأبرار, and the pious people will eat your food. وصلت عليكم ملائكة, and the angels pray for the blessing on you. It's not enough just to say thank you, subhanAllah. You offer a supplication for those who give the effort and prepare the food for you as a way to thank them. Okay. Then we have etiquette of gathering. Etiquette of gathering, of course, we don't choose anyone to meet. A pious person should choose also a companion that is pious like him, because of course they can affect each other. I mean, if you gather with someone not righteous person, then they might backbite others or insult or whatever. So you share the sin. So we have to learn that we share the sin, and at the same time we share, inshallah, the good deeds. So first, select your companion. This is number one. Second, it's not permissible to ask someone to leave his PC. I mean, if I arrive at the beginning of the gathering, and then I left for a few minutes, and I'm coming back. When I come back, this is my priority to sit in my place. You shouldn't take someone else's seat if he leaves for a few moments. It's part of the etiquette. And if someone comes late, you should also, a part of the good manners is to make room. And this is in the Surah Al-Mujadala, number 11. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قيل لكم افسحوا في المجالس فافسحوا الله يفسح الله لكم. That means if we ask you to give room, to make room for in the assemblies, so make room. Like someone is coming, there is no place, you just push a little bit, remove a little bit. It's just an act of good manner, and give him space, even if it is as small as, I mean, no, there is no room, even you try to squeeze a little bit and leave him. It is prohibited also to sit in a place, I mean, to have your seats partly in the sun and partly in the shade. SubhanAllah, it's not good for you, and they said even on the level of the energy, that you have part of your body in the sun and the other part in the shade. The Prophet prohibited this type of sitting. As regards the elderly, we should of course respect the elderly people and let them sit before us, walk before us, and you serve them before us. I mean, there are really manners with the older person. We should listen to them carefully, we respect them. This is how Islam, we respect the elderly. We don't put them in
the age home.
Yes, what?
The homes for the elders.
Home for the elders. So in Islam, we don't just put the elderly in age room, age houses, and reject them. You know, the opposite is true. In Islam, we respect them, we care about them, we serve them in the beginning, like whole manners regarding the elderly. We have to offer something, then we start by the elderly. And of course, before departing from a meeting, you should ask permission. You cannot just leave without asking permission, and say a supplication. Perhaps you've said something wrong. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. We ask forgiveness from Allah, because glory for you, Allah. All praise is due to you, Allah. And we bear witness that there is no deity but you, and I beg forgiveness and repent to you. Because we might have said a word here or there, or backbiting, or lying, or whatever. So we ask after a gathering Allah to forgive us and repent. This is part of the manners in Islam, very important. And Surah Al-Asr, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. So why not after a phone call? Why not after an assembly? Just keep this remember saying this dua, maybe you've said something wrong, maybe anything, and this happened between women a lot. They are talkative, and they might have said something wrong, and they're not even aware of it. So, inshallah, keep this dua.
Can you repeat it again?
Yeah, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. As regards the etiquette of speech, well, Prophet peace be upon him said, well, say a good word, or better, keep silent. So we learned that in Islam we don't only talk for talking. It is prohibited. الذين هم عن اللغو معرضون. This is in Surah Al-Mu'minun in the very beginning. The good believer doesn't talk for talking. He really selects his word, choose his word, and talk the proper word. And of course, if he doesn't know what to say or he doesn't want to share the other, then keep silent. Keep silent is an act of worship, an act of worship in Islam. And abstain of all kinds of evil talk. Don't share, especially those who are talking. لا خير في كثير من نجوائكم إلا من أمر بصدقة أو معروف أو إصلاح بين الناس. That means the best of your talk could be enjoying the good, or forbid the evil, or reconcile people to each other. But never ever share those who are backbiting. You should move from the assembly, or let them change the subject. Otherwise, you share the same. This is very important. People say, but she's the one who was saying that. I was just listening. Well, this is part of listening. So slander also in Namima, that means repeating bad things about others and saying she said so and so about you. So you break the relationship between the person and the other. We were even allowed to lie to reconcile. So how come you're saying the truth? If she said even bad thing about another person, we shouldn't repeat it. We can lie, say, oh, she loves you so much, I appreciate you so much, and though it wasn't the truth. But in Islam, we can lie to reconcile. It is prohibited, of course, to lie. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. If you want to talk, but don't lie. There is no reason to lie. It's a sin. And a good believer will never lie. So, try to say that. Be honest with yourself. You are late. Say why you are. Don't invent stories, but this is not the good manner of a Muslim. Even for those who didn't attend the battlefield, for no reason, there was no reason, the three, it is in Surah Al-Tawbah, they didn't invent story. They said, we didn't attend for no reason. They said, just the truth. I woke up late, this is why I'm late. There is no true reason, not the car was broken on the way, and it was like very, very hard to reach your house. It's not true. Why not inventing stories? Say the truth. Don't care about it. Feel about Allah subhanahu. And of course, about the speech, it is forbidden scoffing. Scoffing is you walk about others and you start to feel like you are superior to them, arrogant or this. This is in Surah Al-Hujurat. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا يَسْخَرْ قَوْمٌ مِّن قَوْمٍ عَسَىٰ أَن يَكُونُوا خَيْرًا مِّنْهُمْ وَلَا نِسَاءٌ مِّن نِّسَاءٍ عَسَىٰ أَن يَكُنَّ خَيْرًا مِّنْهُمْ. Look at the verse of the Quran telling you, oh you believe, let no group scoff at another group. It may not be the later. It may be that the later are better than the former. And don't let women, especially it's mentioned in the Quran, women scoff at another woman. It may be that the later are better than the